Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you
Good.
doing?
I'm good. I hate to interrupt you
Oh, no
this
problem.
morning and barge into your classroom, but I just wanted to talk to you about a couple things, if that's okay.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Awesome. I do have a couple concerns about a few of the kids that I pull out
Okay.
day to day, and then their performance in your classroom.
Okay.
So I just have a couple kids that are struggling with completing tasks that you're giving them in class, and just following those instructions and making sure that they're getting it done correctly. So
Okay.
I do know that they are so excited to be in your class, and they love, having a first-year teacher and all these awesome ideas. Um, so
Thank you for coming to me with your concerns. Um, I wonder where they're exactly struggling. I mean, what class or what curriculum, like reading, science?
just a lot of the assignments, it doesn't look like we're getting step-by-step instructions to
Okay.
complete tasks, and kind of like we have a lot of ideas. So I think if we could maybe tighten the reins and give them step-by-step instructions, and then just make sure that we are using maybe one method to complete a task versus a lot of different ideas.
Okay, yeah, we should look into that. I just have so many ideas that I'm excited to give to these kids and use ideas that I got taught last year in the classrooms in college that I got to use with my student teaching. And I don't know, I think it's very important that the kids get to express how they want to do projects.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like putting too much rules and what exactly I want because they need to express their brains and use that. I understand you thinking maybe I need to do a couple more step-on-step projects, but I just have all these great ideas I feel like they're going to love, and all these different paintings and different ways of spelling that we can do. Like in the classroom we learned all these 5 different ways, and I just want to try them all and see which ones work the best.
Which that is great. I love that you have so many ideas, and I think that's great in the classroom because then you have different types of learners, and
Yeah.
those kids you can reach all of those kids in the classroom. So I think that's really important. But I do think it is important to make sure that we're giving them step-by-step instructions so it's not self-directed, and they don't have to, if someone didn't hear the directions or isn't really sure what to do for the task.
If they're not creative, maybe
Exactly.
as much as
Yep.
the next.
If we have step-by-step instructions, and those can be they can be loose at sometimes. They don't have to be, strict
Okay,
guidelines.
yes,
But if we
yes.
could give the kids some step-by-step instructions, that way they are able to complete the task and they're not getting lost and falling behind. So just if we can try to, ramp up their performance a little bit, I think would be a good idea.
I definitely understand that. It's hard to balance the self-instructed with mine. I've never really being a first year teacher,
Yep.
I don't know exactly what to do. And I'm just trying all these new things. And maybe if you came in sometimes and helped me get into sync, like with that, and
Absolutely.
we could talk before class and figure it out because I do have all these ideas and I don't know
Mhm.
which ones work, and maybe you know a little more which ones are going to work with your students that you're worried about
Great.
with struggling, and we can look into that.
Yeah, I think another really good thing that we can maybe do is put up the instructions on the board. If
Okay.
you just write short instructions, if it's reading and they're doing rainbow spelling, the first step, pull out your spelling list. The second step, grab your 3 crayons. Third step, write your words. So if we just give them easy step-by-step instructions, we don't really have to go into detail. But if they have something that they can reference throughout their assignment.
Okay.
And then another thing is if you're going about the room and you see that some kids are kind of getting off task, just repeat those steps.
Okay.
That kind of helps them stay on task and understand what they are doing. So that's important too.
I have noticed that some of them aren't always on task, but I just feel like, I guess I was thinking people are just slower sometimes at
Mhm.
getting into
Which
what they
can
need to do.
definitely be the case, yeah.
Yeah, but I just think it's important that I do help them, but like I said, I just don't want to put any restrictions
Mhm.
on them with the learning, which is hard. I don't know how to balance that.
Absolutely. Well, and like you said, I can come into the classroom and we can put up that step-by-step list. And I think another thing, maybe sit down and sort through those ideas and kind of determine with this lesson plan, I think this will work best. And with this lesson plan, I think this type of learning will work best. Instead of trying to throw all of your ideas into one lesson, maybe kind of sort them out and decide this I think is going to really work today, and then tomorrow I can teach reading a little different. And then the
Okay.
next day I could use that other idea that I had and teach reading that way. So I think on your part, if we're just sorting out ideas, it'll make it easier for you, and then we are able to provide success for the students in the classroom. So
And this kind of makes sense why reading and writing is my favorite, because they get to choose what books they get to do, but at the same time, I feel like maybe I need to be more restrictive on what books I'm letting them choose, like do fiction or nonfiction.
Absolutely, pick a
And that's
category.
just hard because kids don't always like reading the same materials. And like with writing, I guess I could, if I want to do more creative and loose end ideas, we could do creative writing maybe once a week or something where they can write about whatever they want. I don't know. Is that a
Yeah, no,
idea
that sounds.
you think?
I think picking a certain genre that they're going to focus on each day is really important. So
Okay.
I think that's a good idea. Are there any other ideas that you think that you could kind of tackle in the classroom, or some that you don't like?
I don't know. I get so frustrated when it comes to like math because we have just all these worksheets and worksheets that we want to do. I never want to just throw them at them, so I try to do different ideas, like doing it as a group, but making it into a group project. Like if we're doing like adding one day, instead of just doing the worksheet and doing it on the board, just having different activities. But sometimes we never get what we need done. Like so, I have trouble like trying to make it fun, so they want to learn it because I have all these great ideas, but I don't always follow through with getting their paperwork done that we need to have their curriculum done for the year.
I think another way that you could do that is just presenting the worksheet to them in a different way. So if there's 3 worksheets for the day that have to be done, then the first worksheet you could put on the overhead and you can do as a class. So the whole class is doing it and making sure that everyone at the table is maybe talking about it before they give answers, and that each table gives an answer. And then for like the second worksheet, you could have them work independently or with a partner. And then the third worksheet they could work on at a later time during the day. That way they're coming back and addressing the worksheet. So that's another idea. So
sense.
instead of just throwing all of the worksheets at them and not having any fun in the classroom,
that's my worry.
yeah,
is
you
I
can
want
just
them to
teach
have
it
fun.
different ways, or even getting them out of their seats and moving around the classroom. Take their whiteboards with them, and they have something hard to write on. So then they're not in their seats, and it seems more fun because they're not sitting there.
Well, thank you. That's a great idea because that math, I don't necessarily like math, but I want to make it fun for them just because I remember not having as much fun doing that. But we didn't have the whiteboards and do all that. We were with our
worksheets in your desk.
Yes, and that's what I don't want to put my students through.
Absolutely.
With that.
So do we think that we could maybe get a step-by-step list of instructions for each task? It only takes a few minutes, and even when you're wrapping up a lesson, for reading, you could be writing those instructions. For math, and then talk about those, and that's a good introduction into your lesson, just talking about those steps too. So I think
awesome.
if we could maybe do that, and then if we could just kind of decide which ideas you want to put into play for certain lessons, and I can come in and help at any time, and I can kind of sort through your lesson plan and try to help you sort through those ideas.
That would be great.
So.
Maybe like once a week, just talking and just you helping, looking at my ideas and seeing if I'm doing, or if the students are progressing with the way we've changed these things.
Perfect. I think that would be a good idea. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for addressing me.
I
these
appreciate
problems.
you.
Like I said, first year teacher, I don't know exactly what to do. And
exactly.
So
yep.
help,
We'll help you, and we'll make sure our kids are successful. So
well, thank you.